And right to breaking news now in Baldwin County, the Emergency Management Agency expected to provide an update on Hurricane Sally at any moment now.
Yeah, that news conference is supposed to start at 6 o'clock. The Baldwin County Commissioners and the Sheriff's Office also expected to be a part of this news conference as we continue to track and talk about Hurricane Sally. Of course, as you know by now, the Baldwin County Emergency Agency has already suggested, recommended that people in South Baldwin County in zones 1 and 2 evacuate that area. Plus, Baldwin County schools are closed. And now we see someone at the podium, so we're going to go there live now.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Jenny Gary, and I'm the Deputy Director for the Baldwin County Emergency Management Agency. Today's press conference will be bringing you information regarding Hurricane Sally and the impacts that we can expect to see in Baldwin County, as well as some of the Baldwin County activities and responses to how we can keep you safe throughout this event. We have 3 speakers with us today. We have our County Commissioner, Billie Jo Underwood. We also have our Director for Baldwin County Emergency Management, Zachary Hood. And we also have the Sheriff. We have MACK with us today, and he will be talking about some safety considerations with Hurricane Sally. We have some individuals on our staff that are monitoring the Facebook Live feed, so if you would like to submit questions, feel free to do so. And I also wanted to share with you our contact information should you like to reach our staff here at the Emergency Operations Center. One way that you can communicate with us is through email, and you may do that by using the address bcema@baldwincountyal.gov. Now I would like to introduce our first speaker. We're going to have Commissioner Billie Jo Underwood talk about what's happening in Baldwin County. Commissioner?
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in at this update. The Baldwin County Commission met this morning at 8:30 and passed a local state of emergency that went into effect at 9 a.m. this morning. This allowed for certain emergency measures as needed. Because this storm is rapidly changing, the Baldwin County EMA recommended opening the shelter at the Baldwin County Coliseum beginning at 6 p.m. this evening. This is a shelter of last resort. Our EMA Director, Zach Hood, will share more about what this means. Please stay up to date about this storm. Text Alert Baldwin to 888-777. Again, that's all one word, Alert Baldwin to 888-777 for updates. Follow Baldwin County EMA and Baldwin County Commission on Facebook. Please go to those Facebook pages, Baldwin County Emergency Management Agency and Baldwin County Commission, and like those pages and follow us so that you can stay up to date on the latest information in the feed that we get. This is where you can, this is a reliable source and where you can get good information. Our EMA is in constant communication with the National Weather Service and National Hurricane Center. Baldwin County, be safe. Hunker down. Thank you. And next is Zach Hood, our EMA Director. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Underwood. I'm Zach Hood, EMA Director, Baldwin County, and friends, residents of Baldwin County, and neighbors. I come to you tonight because Hurricane Sally is continuing to strengthen in the Gulf of Mexico. In our 5:30 phone call with the National Weather Service Mobile, we learned that not only is Hurricane Sally strengthening, it is turning or shifting east. This will create more hazardous conditions for Baldwin County, and it is certainly a concern to the Baldwin County Emergency Management Agency, as well as our other respective partners. Tonight with you, we share that the Mobile Bay area is expected to see a 6 to 9 foot surge. In our coastal communities and cities, such as Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, and Fort Morgan, we're expected to get up to 7 feet of surge. The reason I share this point with you is that this is a very dangerous situation that we are dealing with, and those conditions could worsen as the storm makes its approach to our coast. What we have done is activated the Emergency Operations Center. The primary reason for this activation is because we needed to pull our resources from our local, state, and federal partners together to better serve our community. Right now, our most dangerous threat outside of wind and dealing with Hurricane Sally is the fact that this storm event will occur over several days versus within 12 hours. Most of us are familiar with dealing with a storm system relatively quickly. However, with this event, I warn you tonight that this is a dangerous situation and will last multiple days as rain will drop in our area and within the state of Alabama. We are predicted to have up to 25 inches of rain. Our impacts will be widespread from North Baldwin to South Baldwin, so you must pay attention and remain alert. We have spoken with the Sheriff's Office, our local law enforcement, and our local fire. They stand ready to assist in the event that we have to take action. What I will tell you is, given the current conditions, there may be limitations to response. And so what I ask is that you adhere to our recommendation tonight if you're in any of the following areas. If you are in a low-lying area, or if you are in a camper, travel trailer, or mobile home, specifically in the south end of the county, we ask you to voluntarily evacuate to a safer location. Again, if you look at our evacuation map, I am referring to the areas within zones number 1 and number 2 that are low-lying areas that may be in a travel trailer or camper or a mobile home. Within those areas, please seek safety immediately. This is a very, very dangerous storm, and as the situation continues to develop, we need to ensure that individuals in any of those 3 areas are in a safer location. We have opened a shelter in Robertsdale. Our shelter is located at the Robertsdale Coliseum, and it is a shelter of last resort. What we ask tonight is that you review your personal emergency operation plan, and you contact your friends, your family, and your relatives, and see if you can stay with them. Our shelter is there to assist you, and you're certainly welcome to utilize that option. However, know that it is a shelter of last resort and is meant for immediate safety from the dangers that exist going into the next few days. I do want to remind you again, it's important that you receive accurate information from not only the Emergency Management Agency, but the National Weather Service. There's inaccurate information outside of our community, and you must be aware. Please, the National Weather Service Mobile, the Baldwin County Emergency Management Agency are the best sources, and your local media is the best source of information for you during this event. At this point in time, I would like to bring up the Sheriff of Baldwin County, Sheriff MACK.
Good evening. As you have already heard, a lot of plans are in place right now for the next few days here in Baldwin County. I wanted to reiterate on a couple items. At this time, there is no curfew in effect in Baldwin County. However, depending on our weather system tomorrow, that may take place tomorrow night. So it's essential right now that you need to plan now. Now is the time to be having your conversation. We typically, those of us that have lived in Baldwin County all of our lives, we always gauge these storms by what has happened previously, and that is not the best way to plan for a current storm. The best way to plan for a current impending storm is doing just what Director Hood said, and that is that you stay tuned to your local media, you stay tuned to the information that's coming out from the Emergency Management Association. One of the things that you must keep in mind that particularly at night in a high water event, you're not able to see the depth or the width of the water on the road. It is very dangerous. You're not able to see any debris that may have floated or been blown into a roadway. So what we're asking everybody tomorrow is you need to start limiting your travel to essential or emergency travel only, particularly during the dark times when the clouds may be in or during the nighttime hours. This is for your safety, and it's also for the safety of the first responders who are going to be there in a case of an emergency. However, as Director Hood has stated, during the time of the intense part of the storm, our first responders are going to be inhibited in that response. So that's why it's essential that you plan ahead, that you have a plan in place, that you stay particularly attentive to the information that is being provided to you, and that's going to assist all of our law enforcement first responders that are going to be able to come out and work through this situation. So I want to thank you for being attentive tonight. Please share this information with your neighbors, your family members, and call us if there's any questions that you have. We'll be there for you. Thank you.
All right, you just got finished listening to.
Thank you, Sheriff
Baldwin
Mack.
County
Thank you,
Sheriff
Commissioner
Hood,
Underwood, and
Mack,
thank you, Director Hood,
talking about
for
the
meeting with us this
needed
evening and providing us.
preparations and things that you should do right now as we get ready for Hurricane Sally. The sheriff saying that there is no curfew in effect right now, but that could change tomorrow. He asked that you limit your travel to essential travel, and especially during nighttime. We also heard from the EMA Director, Zach Hood, who said response might be limited. So be sure that you have a plan in place. And if you are in a low-lying area, zones 1 and zone 2, make sure that you evacuate. He is asking for you to do that. We continue to keep you updated on this system. As the sheriff said, stay tuned to your local media for information on this storm's track.
And of course, our team coverage will continue throughout the evening. Our Fox 10 News Storm Tracker team will be with you every half hour, giving you updates on Sally. And of course, the Fox 10 News team spread out all along the Gulf Coast to bring you the very latest on conditions and the information you need to keep you and your loved ones safe. That's all coming up during the rest of the evening and during the rest of this time that Hurricane Sally is threatening the Gulf Coast. We're all back for Fox 10 News at 9 and 10. We'll see you then.